Welcome to our deep dive into the mysteries of a pre-flood global civilization. For too long, the story of our past has been constrained by a narrative that perhaps doesn't tell the whole truth. What if the scattered myths of a great deluge found in cultures across the globe are not mere fables, but the fragmented memories of a genuine world-altering catastrophe? What if, before this cataclysm, humanity had reached heights of sophistication that we are only now beginning to rediscover, like faint whispers carried on the wind across millennia? Today we'll explore some of the most compelling pieces of evidence that suggest an advanced civilization may have existed before a worldwide cataclysm. We're not talking about simple hunter-gatherers, but a people with profound knowledge, capable of extraordinary feats of engineering, cartography, and perhaps even possessing a deeper understanding of the cosmos than we credit them with. These are not wild speculations, but questions born from anomalies, from artifacts and structures that stubbornly refuse to fit neatly into the established timeline of human progress. Join me, Mr.Zooiii, as we peel back the layers of accumulated dogma and explore the tantalizing clues left behind. We will journey to the very edges of accepted history, examining ancient maps that seem to show lands hidden beneath miles of ice, megalithic sites built with an almost incomprehensible precision, and stories of a great flood that echo with an unnerving consistency. Prepare to question everything you thought you knew about the dawn of civilization, for the past, I believe, has secrets yet to yield. Yet, consider the Piri Reis map, compiled in 1513 by an Ottoman admiral. It's not just its accuracy in depicting the then-known world that astounds, but its inclusion of a remarkably detailed coastline of Antarctica, a continent supposedly not discovered until centuries later, and certainly not mapped without its thick ice sheet until modern times. Proponents, myself included, argue this suggests access to far older source maps drawn when Antarctica was free of ice, perhaps by a sophisticated maritime civilization. How else could such knowledge have been preserved? Could it be that Piri Reis was merely the custodian of a legacy, a fragment of a much larger, forgotten cartographic tradition? Then there's the Orontius Phineas map of 1531, which also depicts Antarctica, again with features suggestive of a pre-glacial coastline, including riverbeds and mountain ranges now buried beneath kilometers of ice. Mainstream academia often dismisses these as coincidences, misinterpretations, or lucky guesses. But when we see such consistent anomalies across multiple ancient charts, isn't it more intellectually honest to consider the possibility that these cartographers were drawing upon genuine ancient knowledge? A knowledge that speaks of a time when the world was very different, and when human understanding of our planet was far more advanced than we are currently prepared to accept. The debate rages, but the maps remain, challenging our assumptions. Let us journey to Gobekli Tepe in modern-day Turkey, a site that shatters conventional timelines. Dated to around 9,600 BC, predating Stonehenge by millennia, these intricately carved T-shaped pillars, some weighing many tons, were erected by people mainstream archaeology still labels as simple hunter-gatherers. How did a supposedly primitive society organize the labor, quarry, transport, and erect these massive, sophisticated monoliths adorned with complex animal reliefs? It suggests a level of social organization and symbolic thought far earlier than previously imagined, forcing us to ask, were these the first steps towards civilization, or the last vestiges of something far older, something nearly lost? Then we look at Baalbek in Lebanon, where the Roman temples stand upon a platform of even more ancient, colossal stone blocks. The trilithon, 3 stones each weighing an estimated 800 tons, and the stone of the pregnant woman nearby, an even larger quarried block exceeding 1,200 tons, defy easy explanation. How were such immense masses moved and positioned with such precision long before the Romans? And at Pumapunku in Bolivia, we find diorite and andesite blocks cut with laser-like precision, featuring intricate interlocking H-blocks that seem almost machine-made. The technology required to achieve such craftsmanship simply doesn't fit the accepted narrative of the Tiwanaku culture. What forgotten techniques, what lost understanding of engineering allowed for such creations? Across the globe, from the Fertile Crescent to the Americas, from India to the islands of the Pacific, we find a startling consistency in ancient traditions, the story of a great flood. Over 500 such myths have been documented, each with its own cultural nuances, yet sharing a core narrative, a divine warning, a catastrophic deluge that wipes out humanity, a chosen few who survive, often in a specially constructed vessel, and the eventual rebirth of civilization from these survivors. Is it truly plausible that so many disparate cultures, many with no known contact, independently invented such similar, specific tales? Or is it more likely that these are echoes of a genuine shared human experience? The sheer ubiquity of these flood narratives, from the Epic of Gilgamesh in Mesopotamia to the story of Manu in India, Deucalion in Greece, and countless indigenous traditions, points towards a collective memory. A memory of a time when the waters rose, when the world as our ancestors knew it was drowned, and humanity was brought to the brink of extinction. Could this global cataclysm be the event that erased a previous high civilization from the historical record, leaving only these fragmented, mythologized accounts as testament to its existence and its terrifying demise? The patterns are too persistent, too widespread, to be dismissed as mere coincidence or simple storytelling. The ancient Egyptians, for instance, aligned their pyramids with astonishing astronomical accuracy, particularly the Giza complex, which seems to mirror Orion's belt. Their understanding of celestial cycles, the precession of the equinoxes, suggests a depth of observational knowledge accumulated over vast timescales. How did they achieve this? Was it solely their own discovery, or were they heirs to an older, more sophisticated tradition? The intricate calendar systems and mathematical achievements seem to appear with a suddenness that challenges the notion of slow, gradual development from primitive beginnings. Similarly, the Sumerians in Mesopotamia, credited with some of the earliest forms of writing and mathematics, possessed a sophisticated sexagesimal or base 60 system still influencing our measurement of time and angles today. Their astronomical records were meticulous, and then we have the Mayans, whose complex calendars such as the Long Count track vast cycles of time and predict celestial events like eclipses with remarkable precision. Their understanding of the movements of Venus, for example, was incredibly advanced. Where did this profound astronomical and mathematical insight originate? Could it be that these civilizations were not inventing, but rather remembering and reapplying knowledge from a forgotten golden age? Off the coast of Yonaguni-jima, Japan, lies a massive underwater rock formation that has ignited fierce debate. Known as the Yonaguni Monument, it features what appear to be enormous flat terraces, sharp right angles, towering stepped pyramids, and features dubbed the Turtle and the Loop Road. While some geologists insist these are natural formations, the sheer regularity and architectural appearance lead many, including myself, to suspect human modification, if not outright construction. If man-made, its age, submerged by rising sea levels since the last ice age, would place it firmly in a prehistoric period, suggesting a sophisticated coastal culture now lost beneath the waves. Further afield, off the coast of Gujarat, India, lie the submerged ruins of what is believed to be the legendary city of Dwarka, associated with Lord Krishna. Marine archaeological explorations have uncovered stone structures, artifacts, and evidence of a significant ancient port city, dated by some to as far back as 7,500 BCE or even earlier. If these dates are accurate, it would make Dwarka one of the oldest cities in the world, predating known civilizations in the region by millennia. Could these underwater sites be the literal remnants of pre-flood coastal settlements, swallowed by the rising waters at the end of the last ice age, silent witnesses to a forgotten chapter of human endeavor? Then there are the parts out-of-place artifacts, objects that appear in the archaeological record at times and places that challenge our understanding of technological development. The Antikythera mechanism, discovered in a Roman-era shipwreck, is a prime example. This intricate bronze device with its complex system of gears is essentially an analog computer, designed to predict astronomical positions and eclipses decades in advance. Its sophistication is unparalleled in the ancient world as we know it, suggesting a level of mechanical engineering not seen again for over 1,000 years. Where did this knowledge come from, and why did it seemingly disappear? Other curious objects raise similar questions. Consider the so-called London hammer, an iron hammerhead with a wooden handle, found embedded within Ordovician rock, supposedly hundreds of millions of years old in Texas. While heavily debated and often dismissed, its very existence provokes thought. And in pre-Columbian South America, particularly in regions of modern-day Colombia and Ecuador, archaeologists have found incredibly sophisticated gold and platinum artifacts, including intricate jewelry and ornaments showcasing advanced metallurgical techniques like depletion gilding and the working of platinum, which has an extremely high melting point. How did these cultures master such complex processes seemingly in isolation and without a clear developmental trajectory? What could have caused such a global cataclysm, the kind remembered in flood myths, capable of wiping out an advanced civilization and plunging the world into a new dark age? One compelling theory centers around the Younger Dryas period, a geologically abrupt return to Ice Age conditions that began around 12,800 years ago. Evidence is mounting that this sudden and dramatic climate shift may have been triggered by a cosmic impact or multiple impacts from fragments of a disintegrating comet. Scientists have found layers of nanodiamonds, microspherules, iridium and platinum spikes, all markers of extraterrestrial impacts in geological strata corresponding to this exact period across multiple continents. This Younger Dryas Impact Hypothesis offers a scientifically plausible mechanism for a sudden global catastrophe. Such an event would have caused unimaginable devastation, colossal firestorms, darkened skies, mega tsunamis, and rapid sea level rise as ice sheets destabilized. It could have obliterated any advanced civilizations existing at the time, particularly those in coastal regions, and led to the extinction of megafauna like the woolly mammoth. The survivors, scattered and traumatized, would have seen their world utterly transformed, their knowledge lost or fragmented. Could this be the true story behind the end of a forgotten Ice Age civilization, the very event that gave birth to the persistent myths of a world destroyed and remade? The evidence we've explored today, from enigmatic maps and megalithic marvels to universal flood myths and out-of-place artifacts, all potentially framed by a cataclysm like the Younger Dryas impact, paints a provocative picture. It suggests a human story far older, far more complex, and perhaps far more tragic than the one commonly told, while mainstream scholars remain skeptical. These anomalies continue to intrigue and inspire us to reconsider the depth and complexity of human history, to ask uncomfortable questions, and to relentlessly pursue the truth, no matter where it leads. Perhaps it's time to acknowledge that our ancestors may not have been the primitive brutes we often imagine them to be. Perhaps they possessed a sophisticated understanding of the world, a legacy that was catastrophically interrupted, leaving only faint traces for us to painstakingly piece back together. The journey to uncover this lost chapter of humanity is ongoing, and it requires an open mind, a willingness to challenge dogma, and a deep respect for the mysteries that still lie hidden in the mists of time. Thank you for joining us on this journey through time. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe for more fascinating explorations into our past. The quest for knowledge is a shared one, and by questioning, by exploring, by daring to look beyond the accepted narrative, we may yet reclaim a lost inheritance and understand more fully who we truly are and where we truly came from. The past is speaking, we only need to learn how to listen.